and I'm on mute. You guys didn't let me know I was on mute all this time? Wow. Nobody said, oh, hey, can't hear you. Nah, not you guys. So I'm sitting here yapping to myself. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. I was talking about the NYSE, and you can hear me now. You were trying. Sure, Elix. You were probably sitting there trying to stop laughing so hard. All jokes aside, the NYSE went down for a bit. Not down, but their systems hit a glitch. And hey, Matt. Thanks, Matt. And hello, Bianca, because you didn't hear me say that. Hello, Elix. Hello, Matt. Hello, everyone. And they were saying that, I saw another article not that long ago that was saying, Chainlink could have been the proper way, and you wouldn't have had that problem. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I said, it probably would require an oracle with a lot of tentacles to a lot of different systems all over the place. Excuse me. So that Elix, you're on punishment. I do not do it on purpose. Well, not just joking. Could any other project other than an oracle, right? You have a lot of other oracles out there. Could any other project have done it? That's not an oracle. And I don't think so. I think you need the data feeds. And you kind of need the speed, and you need the dependability, and Chainlink has all of that, right? And they already have inroads and links to other financial institutions. So I can kind of see how Chainlink could have been the answer, how Chainlink could have, mitigated that risk. I mean, obviously it takes time to implement and all that good stuff. But Chainlink might actually be the answer. And I'm wondering if they're sitting there saying to themselves, maybe we should run a pilot. Actually, they might have, I don't know, but they could have already been running pilots to try to figure it out. NYSE, she got on there the other day. I forgot her name, so sorry. Got on the other day and she was like, yeah, we've been playing around with crypto for a minute. So I would not be surprised, but that's a very big deal for the NYSE to mess up that big. Here's something else. They haven't said if they're going to make everybody whole. So Berkshire Hathaway dropped 99%. So imagine if somebody was able to pick up Berkshire Hathaway for 99% off, a 99% discount. That's like what? So I'm sorry, I just shaved and I might have hair on my mouth. So I'm just sitting there, I'm just kind of wondering, like, wow, that's actually interesting. How would that work out? But it definitely shows you how people already are thinking through how could that risk have been mitigated had you been using blockchain technology, and a very specific blockchain technology. So that's why I brought up that whole thing. Plus, whatever happens on the stock market is eventually going to have an effect on crypto and vice versa. Whether people want to admit that or not, those are facts. What else do we have? We've got Australia. Now check this out. Monochrome Asset Management. MAM. I'm going to let that go. It's just too funny. Monochrome Asset Management launched Australia's first direct Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, is that a big deal? It's not a big deal in terms of volume, in my humble opinion. But I will say that it's a big deal because you have yet another country entering the space. Now, Hong Kong has not been doing all that well, but there's still business going on in Hong Kong with regard to Bitcoin spot ETFs as well as the Ethereum spot ETFs. So is it as big as what's going on in the United States? No, but it exists. Something else that I noticed is that you also have Australia. And you sit back and go, well, it exists. Then you start to say, well, how many other countries are going to hop on board? That's what makes you stop and go, huh. Adoption, adoption, adoption. So you're seeing a vast amount of institutional adoption. Again, People wanting to be involved in a regulated space because it makes them feel safer. Cool. How long will it be before the retail space, and I don't mean, regular people, right? Or I don't just mean regular people, but I mean businesses, mom and pop shops that say, oh yeah, we'll accept crypto. When that starts happening, done. That's when everybody will start to think about, well, what's the deal with, let's say, fiat and CBDCs, right? Because if I can go someplace and I can buy something with crypto, I'm not going to want to hear about a CBDC, that's for sure. Like I have a big hang up over CBDCs, big hang up, right? Privacy, control. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and they were like, "Yeah, I think stable coins are going to be our CBDCs," and that's true. Now, is there still control over stable coins? Well, yeah, they can shut down accounts. You could definitely do something like that. Even Tether will do something like that. We're going to do it against Venezuela. So that can definitely happen. They can shut down a wallet. But what happens if you're always flipping wallets? You can watch coins move and you can, shut down coins. What happens if you send it to a mixer? What happens if you flip the coins? Because once you flip the coins to another coin, let's suppose I have Tether. Well, they can shut that down. But what happens if I flip to, Toncoin? What happens if I seriously doubt they will. What happens if I flip to Ethereum? Any other coin that's out there, Tether can now not touch it. It's done. If they touched it now, they wouldn't be affecting the person or the entity that has those coins. They'd be affecting the person that's holding the coins now, not the original person that they wanted to go after. So it's a very hard thing. Things can happen, but if you're fast enough to move your coins, to dump your coins quick, they can't do anything. They'd have to render those coins useless on the blockchain before any transaction could happen. That's the big deal to me. So I am paying attention to stuff like that. Plus the additional Bitcoin spot ETF adds more counter pressure to what I think is downward pressure that we're dealing with right now. Where that downward pressure is coming from, not sure yet. I'd have to dig in and, kind of go see. So I don't know where that downward pressure is coming from. So that's something that I'm thinking about. I was just looking to see if I was still streaming, and I am. So it's all good so far. What else is going on in the news? Binance is dropping OMG Network, shock. Waves, shock. OMG Network, not shocked, but Waves, kind of shocked. Wrapped NXM and NEM. And their reasoning is because they're not maintaining crypto standards. And why are they doing this? MiCA. The European Union's MiCA. That's why they're doing it. So a couple of weeks ago, I had told you guys that, Binance is starting to rethink the standards for listing and delisting coins. And they've adjusted those standards, and they've deemed these coins to not be up to par. So, with that in mind, and I said it the last time when I was talking about this, if you start thinking about what happens with regard to meme coins, that's when you really start to scratch your head. That's really when you start to scratch your head, right? Because most meme coin projects are not putting the effort in to abide by any recognized standards, those unwritten rules that are there. It's meme coin, boop, and it's out there for all to see in all its glory. So I'm just wondering, how is that going to work? Right? That's something that I consider all the time. How does that work? Something else that I'm thinking about is OKX, currently the fourth largest, centralized exchange in the world. Fourth largest by trading volume. I'm wondering, How are they growing? And I started thinking about that today. And guess what? Then I see a news article. They're going into the Netherlands. Yeah. So everybody's starting to pick up. Where Binance is having problems, rectifying their regulatory compliance issues around the world, other platforms are starting to move into other territories to create more, just more competition. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, that is all really good stuff. I love seeing the competition. I don't want to leave my money on an exchange, but I use them all. And depending on where they are, I might have access to other coins, other opportunities. So imagine if you could get your hands on a coin here in the United States at one price and sell it, flip it to another exchange and sell it at a slightly higher price and make money off of that. A Forex transaction, basically. Yeah, that's doable. That would be doable so long as I can get onto other exchanges. So we'll see. There are things that I'm working on to try to see if I can get on other exchanges, legally, of course, and kind of take it from there. See what I'm capable of doing, on other exchanges. See if I can sign up and all the other good stuff. Anyway, I want to keep the show short tonight, not because I'm busy, but just because it's not a news heavy day. So I'm going to open the floor up to everybody. Does anybody have any questions about news from this morning, news from this afternoon, issues that they've been thinking about? Maybe you have even questions about, the community itself. I'm open to questions. Bianca, did you do the homework that I gave you the other day? I'm curious. You were supposed to look something up. And Elix, you never answered me about class. You were hoping why the market is down. We're looking at the market right now. Is it down? No, not really. Bitcoin is still hovering around 69. It's been doing that all day. That's one. Ethereum took a little bit of a hit, but it's still hovering at 65% on, year to date. Am I really seeing anything that's really down that I'd be upset about? Everybody's taking a small shift, but there aren't any real huge losers. At least not in the top, in the top. I'm up to 50 now. Everybody's taking small hits. Not coin's up 2.7%. And it's mentionable because they've been on the rise, right? They've been on the rise. They're nipping at the heels of breaking into the top 50 coins. That's a very big deal for a coin that launched like 2 seconds ago. So that's something to think about. Think about that. They passed, Lido. Celestial was another coin that everybody was touting. Past them. Past Fetch AI. Past Pith. I'm just looking at the names that they've shot past. Jupe, Algorand, Aave. Aave is another one that's involved with Project Guardian with DBS, out of Singapore and JP Morgan. They've bypassed a lot. But yeah, nobody's taking a real hit. We're just kind of moving laterally, right? If you look at the numbers as we are right now, we are really trading within a lateral space. Good evening, Victor. I looked into the offloading process and some stuff I wasn't expecting, but I know now exactly. Now imagine it had something happened in the market, like maybe something shot up and you're sitting there, oh man, I'm going to make money. How do I do that? And then 10 minutes later, it kind of corrects or you're not making as much money as you could. That's what I mean. That's why I tell you guys, know how to get the coins, but also know how to get rid of them. And don't just know one way on how to get them and one way on how to get rid of them. Know several viable options, because you're going to want to also pay attention to, well, which one's going to cost me the least or which one is going to make me the most. That's why I ask you guys those questions. Learning futures, and it's a lot. Heck yeah. He's talking about stock. All of the different areas and different time zones, overnight trading, and low volume. Yeah. Low volume can be a killer. Oh man, it really can. What broker and why? Yeah, and it's similar, right? Why am I using this broker versus that broker? You know, just for a given set of transactions, right? Because if you're on one broker and you buy something, you're going to go back through that broker, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in for sure, for absolute sure. Now see, there's nothing else running on my computer, so I'm wondering why it's taking that hit. So Bianca did her homework. Elix is doing well. Victor, do you have any questions? Because I'm not trying to keep you guys late tonight. It's Monday. I know you guys need to relax, chill, maybe eat dinner depending on where you are, or lunch depending on where you are. I had a late lunch and I had a late dinner. So yeah, is what it is sometimes. But if we're good, I can let you guys go. That's the news for today. Everything that I'm waiting for right now. Yeah, 50. It's Bianca. What are you cooking me? What are you cooking? I mean, do Elix and I bring wine or beer? Like, what is it? You're most welcome. I'm listening from the kitchen. Wow. No questions. Thanks. Cool, Victor. She's cooking us. Highly possible. Chicken greens, maybe what? That's the only thing I hate about this interface is that it blocks maybe rice. That sounds nice. What kind of greens? Greens, there are a lot of greens. I mean, what kind of greens? Collard greens, spinach. What kind of greens? I had cream of spinach tonight. Homemade cream of spinach. It was nice. With chicken. Wow. Yeah. So it's same. Well, chicken cutlets done in the skillet. Nice little sauce. It's kind of nice. Collard greens. Wow. You're going to put a little bit of ham hocks in there, bring that full flavor around, or that's too much for tonight? Just curious. But yeah, when I'm looking at on-ramping my money, off-ramping my money, when I'm looking at leverage. So here's something that's interesting for you, Elix. You're looking into leverage, 50, 50x, 20x. That's awesome. Imagine that in the crypto space and how nuts that's going to be. Like, that's why I don't play with leverage, because a split second, that's all you need. That's all you need. This particular crypto is going up, your leverage, blah, 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 blah. And then, so you get in and all of a sudden it takes a dip and then continues back up. That dip could have cashed you out. It's mad. It's just crazy. So I don't have the time to learn all that because it's just too much. Plus, there are other ways that I'm making money. I also don't put all my money in one spot. Yeah, stop loss can be your king, going up or going down. You know what I mean? Because you might say, well, like Warren Buffett has his 10% rule. Once I've made 10%, I'm good. Right? That was how he started out. Once I make 10%, I'm good. I'm not gonna press. In crypto, maybe not. But you can easily gain 10%, and then ride it and say, oh, it could go higher. And all of a sudden it drops 15%. And then you're like, dang, I should have taken that profit. So it's something that you've got to figure out how to monitor, how to watch. Yeah, you can't be greedy. You absolutely, that's right, Elix. You cannot be greedy. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for showing up tonight. I'm sure there'll be more news. We're all waiting upon bated breath for the Ethereum spot ETFs. But I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. Bianca, I'll be waiting for my DoorDash from you. So everybody have a good one. Bye-bye.